let's say it's slavery times, and I get a chance to vote. I don't know. Maybe Thomas Jefferson is my dad, and he takes me down to the voting booth for laughs. But in any case, I get to decide on election, and for some reason they poll me, and they ask me what my number one issue is, and I go, what? Do I say the economy? Do I say the national debt? Or do I say ownership of my own body? When you think that would be the number one issue, if I really cared that much about it, I guess, about owning my own body. Well, using that same logic, and maybe it's a faulty logic, you can tell me if it's wrong, you'll get a chance to weigh in. But this is what I tweeted, using that very same logic. Women are 51% of the population. They vote more than men. The reason abortion is always under siege is because women allow it to be, period. Well, my goodness gracious. Apparently this is a controversial statement, but and honest, you can believe me or not, but this is not me trying to troll or anything. I generally was surprised people went bananas about this. I don't understand what's supposed to be controversial in that statement. The problem is we have women who are not voting their own interests, and it's insane. And I would think abortion rights would be their interest, is ownership of their own bodies. And what's even weirder to me is that single women will go head on for abortion rights, will go on for reproductive rights, owning their own bodies, birth control, blah, 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 until they get married. Once they become married women, then all of a sudden, all that goes out. Who cares? Restrict abortion here, restrict abortion there. Go ahead. I don't give a damn. I got my man now. It's kind of fucked up, I think. Imagine, let's go back to my slavery analogy. Let's say I'm a slave, I managed to get free, and I make money. Somehow I make money. Thomas Jefferson let me go, and he set me up with a nice bit of property. I'm now rich. I now have people working on my property and whatever. I own horses, whatever it is. Do I now forget that there are other slaves? And would that be cool? Would that be all right? I mean, there are other people still slaves. Surely I should still at least make that the number one issue is helping other slaves. And yet, no one calls women on that. Married women are selling out single. Well, they're selling out themselves because presumably at some point they may not want to have kids anymore, or maybe they just want to have control over their bodies regardless. But they're not. The number one issue among women, you have security mom and soccer mom and all this mom stuff. Suburban white women determine the next president of the United States. And instead of people saying, hey, wait a minute, why is your reproductive rights not the most important issue to you? Because you're deciding the next president. Shouldn't that be polling higher? Shouldn't you? But no, it's not. And for some reason, it's outrageous. It's outrageous to even point this out or even notice this very obvious fact. Don't ask me why. And people say, well, you know what? Well, you're just blaming women. You're just blaming women. Yes, because ultimately it's their bodies. If women aren't going to care about this issue more than anyone else, who will? It's not men's bodies who are up for sale. It's not men's bodies that are up on the auction block. If they can't care about it more than anyone else, who is going to? This is not an outrageous statement. This is not a bigoted statement. It is not a sexist statement. It is not a misogynist statement. It is a statement of fact. If women aren't going to care more about abortion than anyone else, then abortion is always going to be under attack. If you disagree, put it down. Tell me where I'm wrong.